Hello and welcome to the Superhero Hub. I'm Sam,
I'm Matt.
and today we're reviewing
The Flash.
episode 2, Fallout. What's going on with Wally West? Wally West's hair's too long, man.
It's not that it's too long, it's that it's got a doofy haircut.
Yeah, because it's because the hair's too long and it's super straight and it's got it like it looked real bad. I was like, what's he doing? So another, obviously, I mean, you could look at it as a fact he was useless this episode as well. You'd think they'd kind of slyly on the DL make him a lot more relevant.
No. I mean, they did that last year. They seem to be undoing it this year. I don't know why. Maybe it's because people don't like Wally very much, but the reason I don't like him is because they never bother to make him likeable.
So this episode's called Mixed Signals, and basically the Flash has got a new... I'm going to criticise straight up. The couples counselling thing, that would have worked if it was funny. Because you had the therapist woman, and I was expecting her to, there was potential there for her to be, really funny, and it to be oh, you know what I mean, couples therapy ain't so daunting and stuff like that. I was expecting something like that, but it just got annoying, and they kept flicking to it every, downtime. They kept flicking to it, 4 times. I was like, okay.
I thought the first time they went was okay. That was vaguely funny. I mean, it wasn't laugh out loud, but it was alright. Talk about all the people that had died, that was fine. They went back, it got worse.
Yeah, because now Iris is being, super batty and super selfish. Why did you leave me? It's okay, the whole universe will get split in half and we'll be dead. Would you prefer that? You know what I mean? So, I'm starting to, she's starting to turn me off a little bit.
Yeah, she's slipping back a little.
She's saying dumb things. Yeah, she's saying she should know better.
Because that was something she would have pulled in the first season when she was awful. And they've improved over the last couple of years, especially last season. But for some reason, they're taking a step back of her character. It's like they're trying to take a step forward by making her the team leader or something, which I think is terrible. I don't know how the hell she suddenly wound up doing that. She was training to be a journalist and now she's in charge of the Flash. Why that's happening, I don't know, but whatever. But it seems like they're doing that because they're taking her character backwards or making her come out with stupid crap.
I completely agree.
I mean, that's not the worst thing. The worst thing, let's just cut to it now. We are the Flash.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. And again, I'm sick of that. Do you know, she always does that shtick where she gets on the mic and she's like, Barry, listen to me. And she just blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden he finds the strength in himself to, do whatever. On the phone call, she's like, Barry, listen to me. Blah, 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 blah. It's like, oh my God, I'm sick of it. Yeah. It's like Barry and Iris, the gold standard. Well, you ain't really got much to step up to, have you? I mean, let's be serious. But they're doing a good job of trying to be worse than Felicity at the moment.
That's still not as worse as Maggie and the other one.
That's what I mean. It's like the relationship thing's meant to be endearing, but they just ruin it all. Maybe the pressure of being a superhero or whatever. Maybe in other shows it's fine. But I think it's because they're all superheroes, it's a big issue. I don't know, but allow that stick. So basically there's a balding guy who's got technopath powers, and he can affect technology and is trying to kill some people who stole his idea. And then just because Barry's got this new suit, we'll drop the Easter egg, the Babel protocols, except in this instance it's merely a self-destruct thing in the suit.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
It's meant to be an Easter egg, innit? The Babel protocols, as in
For what?
alluding to the Tower of Babel, where Batman's got all the protocols to take down the members of the Justice League if they go
Oh,
rogue.
okay, like
And
Brother Eye and all that crap.
and then Ra's al Ghul takes it and then tries to take them all down. It's like that's meant to be an Easter egg for that, which was cool if they left it at that, just having it on the thing. But then they proper they go on about, they bring it up again and say how it's like a self-destruct thing for the suit, and it's like whatever.
It was basically like Cisco like Iron Manned up his suit, I guess. Which, I mean, it was vaguely right, but at the same time,
it's more like the Spider-Man. It's like they watched Spider-Man Homecoming and then just got gassed.
Well, sure, but I mean that's just a continuation. That's the point of it, isn't it? This is Iron Man's thing. He's got his own Jarvis, except as a woman. But it's just, I think it's actually Paul Bettany his wife. Anyway, never mind. The point is, he's got his Iron Manned up his suit a little. I mean, let's talk about the first scene. That was awful. So I was trying too hard. It was the one where they killed, where you see the first guy die.
Yeah, with the elevator.
It's like, I mean, the elevator thing was kind of, I guess that was kind of amusing, but it's like they're trying too hard with the guy to make him super douchey evil. Like, I get it.
I'm pretty sure he bought Oliver Queen's house.
Maybe he did.
That apartment's exactly the same as the Oliver Queen one, but it's like they say, oh, this is a perfect property in Central City. And I was like, well, first when they're looking out the window and they talk about the balcony, I was like, those windows are awful familiar. And then they walk and I was like, that's Oliver Queen's house.
Might be, let's use the same set.
Yeah, they used the same set, made no attempt to disguise it in any way, like any way at all. And I was just thinking, oh, like, terrible.
But it's just like the dude was such an obvious douche.
I don't even see why he's a douche. All he did is buy the house, and then the woman got mad at him.
Yeah, but then he was acting super douchey about it. Like, it doesn't matter. Is it the most expensive one? Good, I'll have it. And then he walks out and doesn't let her on the elevator. It's like, yeah, this guy's a douchebag, and then he dies. It's like, try too hard.
The bit where they disassembled the car.
That was alright.
Yeah, that was cool. But yeah, everything else, whatever. And then you've got, like, for some reason, Barry's got a pulse cannon in his hand and then zaps flipping Wally.
Well, that was Iron Man all over. It's like,
yeah, that looked terrible.
He need I guess the point is he doesn't need it, right? So to be fair, I shouldn't really criticise that. That is kind of where they get in the end. But it's like, surely by this point Cisco realises that, though.
Maybe he got a little trigger happy.
Why are you dumbing down this character?
The live draft was cool.
Yeah.
That was kind of funny.
Unnecessary.
Yeah. So yeah, here's flipping going on about Gypsy, and I guess they, like, on the DL do the whole I love you stuff with him and Gypsy. It's like, okay, then it's like, how prominent is she going to be, though? Because, I mean, you know what I mean? If she's just going to pop up once every 10 episodes, don't care. But at least their relationship ain't batty yet. Until the whole parallel worlds become an issue. No sign of a new HR yet, which I thought it was going to be originally when the portal thing opened. And then, yeah, they eventually take this guy down and put him in Iron Heights in the secure wing. And then it turns out, because I was racking my brains over this, he didn't get his powers from the particle accelerator because he was in Silicon Valley, and he said he got his powers another way but didn't reveal how. And I remember someone in the previous seasons, the same thing came up again, and I was trying to think who that was, where it was like, oh, this person weren't even in Central City when they got their powers, and they kind of made a kind of DL big thing of it. And I was thinking, oh, that might come up later. So I guess that's now, because in the after credit scene or whatever, you got the Thinker, and it's like he focuses on that guy and then pulls up another another 11 kind of blocks, I guess, for people who are kind of didn't get their powers from the particle accelerator, whether it's something to do with that. So it's like it says, oh, he's the seventh So I mean, there's a bunch of other people that didn't get their powers from the particle accelerator. So it's like that's the big mystery, whether it's him who does it or someone else. Because I guess they're trying to showcase how smart this guy is by, like, you know, memorizing all the works of Schubert by like breakfast. I woke up early.
Yeah, I mean that was fun. I mean, this is a pretty good idea, I suppose. It's moving away from the particle accelerator. It's been 3-4 years now, and it's a good setup. The whole box. Now we know we can each week we can fill one of those boxes with a new villain. And I'd rather, if we're gonna have a mystery, I'd rather be that than, you know, who is the villain again.
Yeah.
So that's a step in the right direction at least.
No, I like the after credits bit, right? Because it's kind of how, like, in the first season they had it, and then Harrison Wells was going around doing stuff in all the after credits things. Let's talk numbers.
You know, I've been vaguely negative in the review, and I think it's a mixed bag. There were some good bits in it. I kind of like the team dynamic. Apart from, I don't mind Iris being in the team. I just think it's weird. She's going around giving orders to people who've been doing it a lot longer than she has. So,
well, I think they've got to find a role for her. Because I mean, she always used to just run in, kind of walk in, and kind of be in all of her frenzy and stuff like that. So
they do need to find a role, and maybe they can work her into it. It's early days. I might get used to it. I just think, especially, it's going to be weird if another Harrison Wells telling that, especially if it's Harry. That's going to be odd.
yeah,
But
he is
you know,
team leader.
Yeah, it's going to be. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll get used to it. The team dynamic, otherwise, I thought it was pretty good. I didn't like the villains. I thought it was a bit try too hard to make them seem evil. Apart from that one dude who was kind of relatable. I don't know. I'll give it a 7. It was passable but frustrating.
I'll push 7.5. And I believe I expressed my opinion for the duration of this review. I'm Sam.
I'm Matt. The most interesting thing in this episode was an Arrow thing. It was that newspaper article, and like,
what newspaper article?
You know, when they went to the therapy session, they saw the newspaper thing saying Oliver's been outed as the Green Arrow.
Oh.
It's like, how far of a gap is there? Like, could that be like immediate news that just broke?
Yeah.
Because it seemed like Iris kind of knew about it though.
Yeah, I think they've always kind of put them in real close proximity, so I figure it must have been like a day later. Because obviously, from the explosion on the thing, that was 6 months. Explosion on the island, and Barry was gone for 6 months as well. So they are kind of at the same time. So I guess it must have been like a couple days later.
Okay, well,
like
I
the
guess
next morning. Because I mean, you got to think he's going to wrap this up. So I mean, if they're going to kind of wrap it up and downplay it, then it's kind of not going to be news a week later, is it?
Suppose not. Well, we'll see in our row then, won't we?
Yeah. We'll see you on the next episode. I'm Sam.
We've done this already. I'm Matt. Goodbye.
Cool.